Why doesn't your dad love you? How's it going, guys? We just got done with the Xbox E3 media briefing and it was alright. It was alright. But to summarize the recap in itself, we got some first-party information from the hardware, some indie games and third-party support, a lot of them, and some pretty lackluster first-party support. So forgive me if I don't go too in-depth with every single game because there was over 50 games in this conference. I'm going to try to hit every single one of them. So let's get started. Project Scorpio is now called Xbox One X and it'll be coming out on November 7th at the price point of $499. The one thing I do want to know about the new hardware is just how great it's designed. It's impressive from a hardware standpoint, but design-wise it's the smallest Xbox ever, so it's smaller than the Xbox One S. Even though it's more powerful, it's even liquid-cooled, although as impressive as that is for being just a console that's actually liquid-cooled, it also makes a lot of sense for just how much hardware is in the device. It probably does get pretty hot, so it's a good thing it's liquid cooled, not just impressive. In addition to the hardware reveal, we also learned that all Xbox One games and accessories will work on this new hardware, as well as all Xbox One games will feature some sort of super sampling when being played on Xbox One X. Starting us off with the software, we got the reveal of a new Forza Motorsport game that really shows off the power of Project Scorpio / Xbox One X. I'm just going to call it Xbox One X from now. But they pretty much showed off the new dynamic weather effects that's possible with the new hardware in this new version of Forza. They even showed off a brand new car, which, forgive me, I'm not a car person, I'm not going to pretend like I am. I gotta Google this thing. The Porsche or Porsche GT2 RS. Okay, so basically a new Forza game with a brand new car reveal, and the most impressive part being that it runs at 4K native resolution, 60 frames per second on Xbox One X. That's really cool. The next software reveal was Metro Exodus, running on Xbox One X and coming out in 2018. This game looks super impressive. It's basically an open world Metroid Last Light from a just gameplay standpoint. It looked really cool. We weren't really sure what the hell it was when we were first watching it. When we saw that Metro logo though, god damn, we got hyped. We also got the reveal for Assassin's Creed Origins coming out on October 27th, and it's taking place in Egypt, but it's not like we didn't know that already with all these leaks going around pretty much everywhere. Everything that was announced was pretty much everything we knew already. But it looks pretty cool and it's coming out later this year and it's going to be supported on Xbox One X. This indie game reveal was really cool. We got the confirmation that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming to Xbox One X later this year, and it is coming first to Xbox One. So it is coming to PS4 most likely, but it's definitely coming to Xbox One first in terms of the console aspect. And that's pretty much a really big deal for Microsoft. It's just a very popular title right now, so it's really important for them to get that on their platform, especially first. Side note, I haven't actually played the game, but I have a PC. Let me know if that's a game I need to buy, because I keep hearing a lot of good things from fans, so yeah, let me know in the comments down below. We also got a gameplay reveal of State of Decay 2, and this game looks so gruesome. We literally saw a person that get split in half by a giant zombie. It looks really cool. I'm excited for more State of Decay. The sad part is it got delayed to 2018, so not off to a great start for the first parties on Microsoft, but the game looks cool. Kind of sucks that we have to wait for another year. The Darwin Project was another game that was revealed that pretty much showed that it focused on online deathmatching, sort of like Hunger Games if you will, but primarily just killing people, and it has mixer support for online interaction with people watching live streams, so that was really cool. There was actually a live commentator during the gameplay reveal, so that kind of made me more hyped for the game. It looks like it's going to be a very impressive, possibly esports game, so I'm pretty excited about that one. Definitely a game to keep your eye on. Now I gotta say, Microsoft dropped a pretty freaking big bomb in terms of Minecraft news. Like a lot of Minecraft news, and pretty big Minecraft news. You can now cross-play between the newer versions of Minecraft, so the mobile version, the PC version, Xbox One, PS4, and even, surprisingly, Nintendo Switch. So you can now play against each other across multiple platforms over Minecraft servers. That's pretty freaking cool. But on top of that, it's getting a 4K update if you're on Xbox One X, and you're essentially getting the console equivalent to incredible shaders on PC now on Xbox One X. So you can get those impressive looking visuals on Xbox One X with Minecraft. Pretty freaking darn awesome news. I think some of the more surprising announcements was support from Japanese developers as well as developers who work on PC games that are now being ported over to console, usually coming out to Xbox One or Xbox One X first. Bandai Namco showed off their new fighting game project with Arc System Works DBZ Fighters, and it looks absolutely amazing, very much like Guilty Gear but with Dragon Ball Z characters, and it looks freaking amazing. It's a 2.5D fighting game featuring Dragon Ball Z characters in the style of a Hyperdrive Dragon Ball Z fan-made game, as compared to the 3D games that Bandai Namco has been making for years now. The MMORPG Black Desert is also coming to Xbox One and One X, and is coming as a timed exclusive on Xbox. We got two more console launch exclusives, one of them called The Last Night and the other one called The Artful Escape, both of which feature art styles very much like that new Square Enix Nintendo Switch game called Octopath Traveler. Very reminiscent of sprite work, but in a 3D form factor, if you will. It looks really cool. I don't know what the hell is going on in either one of the games, but aesthetically, it looks amazing. Here's another impressive Japanese game I didn't think would be coming to Microsoft, but Code Vein from Bandai Namco, that super impressive looking game that was shown off on PS4, well, that's now coming over to Xbox One S and One X, and it's 4K supported on Xbox One X. It looks pretty freaking darn awesome. Another game I'm super excited to play. Rareware's new Sea of Thieves game was shown off again this year. It feels like it's like the third time this year already. And it got delayed into 2018. So not only did we get another long gameplay showcase for this game, but it's also being delayed into early 2018. No longer a 2017 game, so sort of a bummer on the Microsoft end again with the software. We also got a new gameplay trailer for Tacoma. It's from the people over at Fulbright, who you may have known as the people that made Gone Home. This game is coming out on August 2nd on Xbox One and One X, and it looks pretty darn badass from just looking at the gameplay, but story-wise I'm excited for it because Gone Home was freaking fantastic. Now, to be quite honest, it's been like an hour since the conference ended, and I'm still a little bit salty about this. They showed off a trailer with the tail of a furry animal passing by. I thought it was Conker's Bad Fur Day. It was not Conker's Bad Fur Day. I am so still triggered by this. It was some new 3D platformer called Super Lucky Tales. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of a 3D platformer from Rareware, so that was kind of surprising. But even more surprising was while I was listening to the new trailer, it straight up sounds like Good at Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy, at least from the soundtrack in the background. I'll leave a link in the description down below, but you tell me it sounds dangerously close to that song. And lastly, on the software end from Microsoft, we got a release date for Cuphead. Finally, it's coming out September 29th. A little bit later than I would have hoped. I was hoping they would drop a It's Available Now release date, but you know, at least still this year at this point. We also got a release date for Crackdown 3 with a pretty badass funny new trailer with Terry Crews in it. Pretty awesome. The game is now coming out on November 7th, and it's going to coincide with the release of Xbox One X, so a nice little tie-in if you want to buy an Xbox One X and a brand new game on the same day. And after all those announcements, we got a list of a bunch of indie games coming over to Xbox One, One S, and One X in the future. I'm going to try to hit most of them, but here's the ones that I just distinctly remember pretty much. Raiders of the Broken Planet, Surviving Mars, Fable Fortune, Observer, Robocraft, Dunk Lords, Minion Masters, Brawlout, hey, kind of looks like Smash Brothers, pretty cool. Oblent, Dark and Light, Riverbond, Hello Neighbor, Shift, and Conan Exiles. So far from the indie game standpoint, it looks like they're really doing a good job at supporting Xbox One, One S, and One X in the future. I can definitely get behind that. It's something I really want to see on the platform. But we also got, more importantly, some pretty freaking badass third-party news from other developers. Let's jump into it. Life is Strange is getting a prequel sequel with 3 episodes, with the first episode dropping on August 31st. I pretty much live-streamed Life is Strange in its entirety on this channel, and I'm super freaking excited to see the prequel, learn more about Rachel and that whole relationship before we played Life is Strange. I'm super excited for this one. A new game called Ashen is also coming to Xbox One with support for Xbox One X, and it's a console launch exclusive, meaning it is coming first to Xbox platforms. We also got a very elongated demo time with Shadow of War. The game itself was pretty cool, the gameplay looked fun, and the dialogue was my favorite part. Very, very funny. Just a little bit longer than I would have liked for a demo on the Xbox conference stage. But regardless, it's a very fun looking game, and it's coming out on October 10th, so you won't have to wait too long for it. But probably one of my favorite announcements was the sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, titled Ori, Will and the Wisp. It looks just as beautiful and as emotional as the first game was. I'm super hyped for it. The trailer showed off a very sort of like sad scene. I don't really know the context of it, but it looks pretty sad and emotional, and that's the thing I loved about the first game, so I'm definitely hyped for the sequel. Next up, Phil Spencer came on stage and announced that backwards compatibility is coming to Xbox One in terms of Xbox original backwards compatibility, with more specifically Crimson Skies being supported in this feature. So that's pretty awesome for anyone that loved their Xbox originals. You'll be able to play them later this year on your Xbox One, One S, and Xbox One X. So technically full backwards compatibility to some extent, some titles aren't in there, but games from Xbox Original 360 now on the current Xbox One. Phil Spencer also added that they're working on patches for current Xbox games to support 4K on Xbox One X, as well as third-party developers are working on patches for their own games. About 45 if I recall correctly, but some of the ones he noted were Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, Killer Instinct, Halo Wars 2, Minecraft, Resident Evil 7, Final Fantasy 15, the new Ghost Recon, and Rocket League. It's cool, man. Halo 5 and Master Chief Collection don't need 4K. It's like, I still like you. And finally, the conference ended with the gameplay reveal of Anthem from BioWare and EA, and this game looks freaking amazing. It looks like a combination of so many games put into one package, but it just looks completely outstanding. It essentially almost looks like an open world Destiny to some extent, and it looks just completely fantastic. If you were super let down by Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm sure this will pick you right back up. So that's pretty much everything we got from the Xbox E3 media briefing today. Overall, if I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.5. I thought the hardware analysis were really fair and genuinely pretty surprising, I think. $499 was something I expected, but I feel like everyone else expected $400. But from what they're offering with Scorpio or Xbox One X, it seems like a very fair price point for all the features it's going to have. And it seems just like a beautiful console in terms of its design aspects too. The third-party software looks amazing. It's hard to judge the 4K resolution of the graphics based on a 1080p live stream, but from a visual standpoint, those games look pretty good on the live stream, so I'm expecting them to look even better in person. But third-party wise, it seems really good, and it seems like Microsoft is getting their act together with a bunch of those third-party companies now that they have a more powerful console. Even surprised to see some relationships with some Japanese companies like Namco Bandai as well. The thing I gotta say was the most disappointing was the first-party content. I mean, we got the reveal of a new Forza game and Ori and the Blind Forest 2 essentially, but other than that, all the other games from Microsoft themselves were games that we already knew about either a year or two ago, half of which have been delayed to 2018. We have Cuphead later this year and Forza, but next year we're getting State of Decay 2 and we're getting Sea of Thieves, so I'm just pretty appalled at just the performance in terms of software from the Microsoft end. Hardware-wise, looks really impressive, super excited. Software-wise, really disappointed. But let me know what you thought about the Xbox E3 media briefing in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs it up, subscribe for more content like this, especially the recap videos during E3, and let's go Master Chief. Even without a 4K patch, I still love you. It's okay. You tried your best.